Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Cripple. I'm your host, the Cripple, and today we're going to be making something we've made before, but not traditionally. So today we're going to be making bread, which I know we made that bread before, but that wasn't traditional bread. That was beer bread, and I don't think that counts as bread. It's more of a banana bread. But so to start off, you're going to need a large mixing bowl, and I prefer metal just because it conducts heat and it does what you need it to do very simply. But in that mixing bowl, you're going to need to put 2 1/4 cup of warm water, which means warm. You can just barely feel it when it's right here, like right in this area on your wrist. That is the most sensitive spot for temperature. So to that, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of just pure sugar, and then whatever I'm using active dry yeast. You don't have to. You could use quick rising or fast rising. I don't know which one it is, but basically for the first portion. Oh, here I go again saying portion. But for the first portion of this part, you're just kind of waiting it out. And you guys are a little crooked, so sorry. I'm OCD. So we're just gonna wait. We're gonna let this. We're basically making sure the yeast is alive and well, and you add the sugar in to give the yeast something to munch on while you get everything else prepared. So we'll come back in about 10 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, about 8 minutes, and see if our little buddies are doing good. So I will see you guys in 8 minutes. All right, as you can see, our buddies are alive and well because there's little bubbles forming, and I know this is gonna sound stupid, but it smells like freshly cooked bread in here. So, oh, that smells good. So I'm gonna get the rest of what I need to get ready, and I'll tell you guys what I need to get ready. So I'll be right back in a minute. All right, so in a large mixing bowl, I've added 3 tablespoons of sugar. I almost said butter. No. 3 tablespoons of sugar and 3 cups of flour. So we're gonna whisk this together until it's kind of smooth, and then we're gonna add in more flour as needed. And then, hey, I made a bread joke and I didn't even mean to. So we're gonna mix this together, and then we're gonna let it stand, meaning just let it sit there for 2 hours. So I will see you guys in a few minutes, and then we'll get to kneading. Excuse me. All right. So basically, you want your There we go. That was the money shot. You want your mixture basically to act like that, and this tells me that we're ready to start trying to form the dough. So I'm gonna put this on medium heat. Medium heat. Yeah. I'm gonna put this on low, and then we're just gonna spoon in about half of a cup each time we do it. So we're gonna put in as much of this as we need to, and I think I'm just gonna end up using it all, but I don't know. So I will see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna go find my half cup. And the reason why you don't want to over mix it or put too much flour in it is because then you get like a really, well, floury bread, and you don't want that. So here we go, and we're just gonna see how this turns out. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. I'm gonna make this into a dough, and then we'll get to kneading. All right, so with your clean hand, because you can see I've got batter all over my hands. With your clean hand, you're gonna liberally just kind of, I'll show you in a minute, but you're just flouring your workstation so that way you can well, work with it. So it should look like that, and we're gonna just dump this out and then knead it for 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna dump this out and then show you what I've been taught how to knead. So I'll be right back. All right, so what you're gonna do is basically you're gonna form it into a ball first, and then flip it over on itself, I might need to let this stir in a little bit more, but I don't know. This is my first time making it, so if I fail, try again. But we're gonna take some, we're gonna fold it up, and then you're gonna rotate it, fold it up, and then basically do that. Rotate it until it becomes stretchy, and I might need to put this back in just to make it a little bit more bread-like because it's all crumbly. I think that means that I didn't mix it long enough, so we'll see. So we're gonna do this for 8 to 10 minutes. Set a timer if you don't know how long. Like if you don't have a clock in front of you, I unfortunately don't. So I'm going to set a timer and do this for 8 to 10 minutes. All right, there we go. As you can see, it's becoming much nicer, and I've only been kneading for about 4 minutes. So I've found that if you push down and away from yourself, it works best, and it also makes it not have these little cracks. I know you can't see from your perspective, but there you go. The little cracks in the bread. And like I said, I'm OCD, so that really bugs me. So just keep rotating, and if I'm to be correct, I feel like this should turn out to look and feel like very good mashed potatoes. I know that sounds really weird to say for a bread mixture, but hey, it already looks like mashed potatoes if you look at it. Oh, there we go. Fold that, and I will see you guys in 4 minutes. Alright, so 4 minutes is up. I'm going to put this back in here, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for 2 hours and let it double. We're going to cover it with saran wrap, and then we're going to let it double. But I got to go get the timer because I set it for 1 minute extra. So we're going to set this up and then put it in the fridge for 2 hours about, and then we'll see what happens. It should double in size, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I just put it in the fridge, and I'm not sure if that's where I'm supposed to put it, but that's just where I'm putting it, excuse me. But I'm going to put it in the fridge for 2 hours and see if it hasn't doubled in size, and then we're going to punch it down with our knuckles, and then we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so forget what I said about putting it in the fridge. It's got to be one place. So, I'm sorry, this is my first time making bread, so I'm going to make a few mistakes. But, we're going to put it in a nice warm place, covered by a towel. I think it's a moist towel, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to have to look, and don't quote me. But now would be a very good time to clean up the mess you made kneading the dough. So, I'm going to go get the towel, and I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I've got mine covered, and I've just dampened the towel just a little bit because in all the videos that I've watched today, and I've watched a lot of videos, they cover it with a nice moist towel to keep it, well, moist, and to keep it, what's the word I'm looking for? Cool and fresh. So we're going to leave this for 2 hours, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'll see you guys in 2 hours. Oh, and another quick thing is you want to take about, whoa, hat hair, put that back on. Another quick thing you want to do before you put your dough in is you want to throw some canola oil or whatever kind of oil you prefer into the bottom, and then flip it over a couple times to kind of grease it up so that way it doesn't stick to whatever you're using to double it. So I'll see you guys in 2 hours. Alright, so we've got 58 minutes left, and let me tell you, it has really doubled. So we're going to let this go for 58 minutes, and then I will talk to you guys in 58 minutes. So I'll be back. Alright, so we've got about 15 minutes left on the timer. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. But we've got about 15 minutes left, and I'm gonna probably charge my phone a little bit. Excuse me. But we got about 15 minutes left. We're gonna take this out and divide it. And I don't really have the recommended size, so I'm just gonna use a bunch of these and just divide them up. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Alright, let's check this bad boy out. Oh wow. It's really doubled in size. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it on. I don't know why it told me to grease the top. It just made it look greasy. Like, I know, duh, but it didn't really do anything. But then again, I don't know that much about bread and stuff like that. So we're going to take this out and we're going to divide it up into our little pans. So give me one moment and I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I've divided this up into 4. And I think that should be enough for each pan. But we're just going to kind of make it into a loaf shape. And then, yeah, we should be good. Oh, and we're going to let this rise for another 2 hours. So just take that into account. So I'm going to be doing this. So I'm going to talk to you guys in a minute. But basically what you're trying to do is just form it into a little loaf. So what I like to do is just take it in my hand and pat it around a little bit. And then plop it right in. And the reason why we're not greasing these is because we're just going to throw them away. Like, these are super disposable. You can just cut the sides and it'll come right out. But if you want to, like I've done with all of these, take some flour and just sprinkle it in like that. Excuse me. Oh, heartburn. It's not fun. And then once you're done with that, we're going to let these rise again for 2 hours. And again, I have to look to see where we're putting them, because before it was a nice, what's it called, dry place, and now I'm not so sure. So I will get back to you on that. Alright, now that we've got our loaves made, that one's kind of ugly. Hang on. Sorry. I guess it's just my perfectionism or my OCD coming out. We're going to cover them up again, and then we're going to let these rise again. And what I did with the forming also, the reason why I was sitting there kneading it so much is because I was also punching it down. Because you're supposed to punch it down with your knuckles, but I forgot to do that before I cut it up. So I'm sorry, that's my bad. But, so I hope you guys are having fun, and I'm going to clean up my kitchen in the next 2 hours. So I will see you guys in 2 hours. Alright, it is 3 hours later, or 2 hours later, sorry. I'm thinking of the next step where we gotta cook it for 32 minutes, so I put the 3 in front of that, so I'm sorry. But let's check these out. Oh, wow. That is awesome. I'm especially proud of this one. But, alright, so the reason you want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Punch them down, whether it's, smushing them together or, using your knuckles like I said to, but I didn't do it just because they're such small portions, is because you want to deflate some of the air bubbles so that you don't have just this, like take this one for example. The reason being is you don't want to have just this whole loaf of bread to be one giant air bubble. So you want to kind of pop those and then, yeah. But these are looking fantastic. And these are actually going to be in the video for tomorrow, because I've got a plan for that. But, so now next you're going to preheat your oven to 375, and we're going to cook, bake, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the correct terminology for either of them. But you're going to put these in the oven for 32 minutes, or however long it takes your oven to do it. Sometimes 33. It says 30 to 35, and I just took the middle one. So we're going to wait for that to preheat, and then put these in for 32 minutes. So I will see you then. Alright, so my thing just beeped, and it's time to move these into the oven. And it's best to put them in a hot oven, that way the cooking process can start right away. And That way, well, number one, you're not waiting for the heat to come, which makes them tough, and then you don't have to wait as long for the actual cooking process. So I'm going to go move these into the oven, and then I'll be right back. Don't look so good. Alright, so now we just gotta wait 32 minutes. So don't look at them, don't do anything. Just when the beeper goes off, check them. And the reason why I put it more towards the lower half, meaning 30 minutes, is so that way you can add time. You can always add time to your recipes. You can never take time back, meaning you can undercook it and then, bump it up to where it needs to be. But once it's burnt, it's burnt. So I'm going to see you guys in 32 minutes. Alright, now that our timer has gone off and we've moved them out of the oven, we're going to put them on a wire rack and let them cool off for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, now that we've allowed these to cool down a little bit, it's time to cut, but here's the thing. I don't know where to cut because I want to use these for a recipe tomorrow. So, I'll cut a little piece off this one. No, I'll choose this one. Let's see. There we go. Oh, wow. Cool. There's not very much air bubbles, but who knows? You know, that is not bad for my first bread. Well, it's kind of chewy, but it's not what I'm saying. It's really chewy, which I don't mind at all. But what I was going to say is it's very good for my first what's it called, bread? Like traditional bread, like sandwich bread. Not like banana bread or the beer bread that I made. Because yeah, those are technically breads, but this is what I think of when I think of bread, is like stuff you make sandwiches out of. But this has been Cooking with the Cripple. I've been your host, the Cripple, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!